So, you want to know how much I made from my poultry farm, right? Well, I won't tell you just how much I made in 1 month. I'm going to tell you how much I made over the past 2 months. So please stick around. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell button. That way you will not miss anything. You'll get a notification every time I upload a new video. And please like and comment. Ask me anything about poultry farming. I'll try to answer as many as I can. Now, as you can see, hello, I'm back to the poultry farm. Yeah, so this weekend I got to travel to the poultry farm and I'm very happy. Of course, it's a bit different. The grass is overgrown, as you can see, but that's because I wasn't around. I haven't been around for around 3 weeks or more, and it has been raining, a lot of heavy rain, so the grass has grown. Anyway, that's not the topic. I'm here to tell you how much I've made over the past 2 months. That has been March and April. But before we get there, I want to tell you a very small story, or a short story of what happened on my farm in March. Yeah. So in March, I had someone working on the farm. He had been working on the farm for about 4 months, probably since November last year. So that's 5 months. I had brought him after I'd fired someone who had been stealing my eggs. So I got someone else onto the farm and who was doing well. But then in the middle of March, the person who runs my farm when I'm not around, who is actually my grandmother, yeah, my grandmother, noticed that something is quite queer. She started suspecting that the person steals the eggs. And after a bit of background checking and, we actually discovered that it's true. He was stealing the eggs. That was very horrific. Looks like it wants to rain. I hope it doesn't rain anytime soon so I get to finish this. Anyway, so we found out he was stealing the eggs, and that was in the middle of the month, around 14th. So I fired him and got someone else. And from the middle of the month, that's March, until now, the chickens got back to giving me what they're supposed to give me. While he was around, I was getting around an average of 16.5 trays. After he left, I got an average of 20.5 trays. That means he was stealing around what? That's 4 trays every day. How horrible. Yeah, very hard having such workers on the farm. But those are some of the stories and the difficulties we go through. Anyway, that was a background story about what was happening on my farm. So for the rest of March, the production went back to what it's supposed to be, 20.5 trays, and that's what happened all throughout April. But we've had a few problems in April. Yeah, you all know what's going on. The reason I couldn't be on my farm, a lot of chaos going on, and I believe it has affected the whole world, apart from I think one country. Interesting. Anyway, it has affected the whole world and it hasn't spared my business too. So because of that, the demand of the eggs has gone down. Before all this chaos started, I couldn't even meet half the demand of the nearest trading center to where I stay. After this chaos started, not even half of what I produce is taken. So how much I'm making has really gone down, and that's been very horrible. I hope all this ends soon so that I get back to making money. The other problem is that the feeds have been crazy expensive. Yeah, since I started my poultry farm about 1 year ago, I've been a bit unlucky. Well, it's been very useful experience, but I've been a bit unlucky in that the prices of the feeds have been very high from when I brought in the chickens. Starting with the maize itself, over the past 1 year, the rains were very horrible. First of all, they came late, and when they came, there were too many, and because of that, maize didn't grow, and so it's been expensive all the way. Then the maize bran. Currently, due to the chaos that's happening, schools are locked, institutions are locked, and those are the biggest consumers of maize, So we all know that maize bran is a byproduct of maize, which is used to make maize flour, to make posho. But due to the closure of schools and all that kind of stuff, there's been little maize bran being produced recently, and hence the maize bran is very expensive, more than 2 times what it usually is. Then thirdly, the concentrates. Now the concentrates I use for my layer chickens are actually imported. They are not made around, so they are imported, and because of the chaos and whatever is happening, it's been quite hard. So bringing them in is a bit hard, and due to that, the prices have gone high. So I've been paying crazy high prices for the feeds, and all that chews into my profit. Okay, enough of the talk. You came here because you want to know how much I make, right? Okay, so in March, I made an equivalent of $1,506. That's gross, yeah? And then my expenditures in March were about $1,052. So I'll not tell you the profit, right? You can calculate, very easy. Then when we get to April, that's when everything got crazy. That's when the demand went down and everything blew up. So my gross earnings in April were around $1,132. And my expenditures were $1,052. So yeah, you get it. I got less than $100 in April. That's horrible. Well, it looks horrible for someone who is doing business. But well, I know a lot of people who are actually making losses due to what's happening. But we don't stop, yeah? We don't stop because there is a crisis. We have to move on. Actually, one of the reasons I came to the farm is because I'm expanding the poultry farm. As you all know, on the lower section of my chicken house, I have around 770 birds. The upper section of the chicken house has nothing. Yay, you heard it right, nothing. So I'm planning on bringing in more birds, actually more than 700, because I found out that I think I can put more birds in the space. So I'm planning on bringing 1,000 birds that I will put in that upper section of the chicken house. So I'm going to expand during a crisis. So why on earth would I be expanding? Why on earth would I be thinking of expanding when I'm earning so little profit? Okay, so I told you the feeds have been crazy expensive. Now, the prices of feeds are not usually that. Told you guys that I've been in the business for about 1 year. I didn't get the time and ability to stock up because by the time I started, the prices were a bit high. But this year, the rains have been quite good, so the prices of the feeds are really going to fall. I know a lot of people are growing maize because I can see it. So the prices of the feeds are going to fall, and feeds are the biggest expense when you're keeping hens. So if the prices fall down to what I expect, my expenditures will be around $722. Yes, you heard that right. That's actually less than half of the gross earnings. So my profit will be more than 50%, and that's very good. Yeah, very good. So that's why I'm planning on expanding. The market is there, the demand is there when you don't have crazy diseases disturbing the whole world, right? So I'm planning on growing big. And if you asked me right now, would I start such a business if I hadn't started it yet? Yes, I would start it because it's a very good business. I love chicken, I'm passionate about chicken, and if you want to start, I advise you to start. Just get the right information and go out there. Let's make money. So now, you know how much I earned over the past 2 months. Yeah? What next? Don't forget to subscribe. See you next time.